Welcome to In the News with Double O Des. I'm Des Bernardo, giving you my perspective on news from South Africa and the rest of the world.
In the news now, there is an article where Eskom is begging people to please reduce load within their homes. Now, this is quite serious. When Eskom says that people need to reduce load, they're in serious trouble with regards to the available capacity on the national grid. Apparently, they've had a breakdown on 4 units, and it's unexpected breakdown. So it's not something that they thought would happen. Now, a piece of machinery, you can't tell it when to break and when not to break. You need to maintain it to make sure that it doesn't break. But in this case, the headline says, and this is in Fin 24, cut power usage pleads Eskom as 4 large units break down. Now, this has happened many times in the past, but there's many other units shut down for unplanned breakages as well. Now, there's a big difference between a planned breakdown, a planned shutdown, when a unit is taken off for maintenance, and when the unit trips for unplanned reasons. And depending on the reason why it's tripped, it could take very long for the unit to come back online. And we don't have all of those details, but it says here Eskom has warned the public to cut electricity usage urgently, as it lost 4 large units to unplanned breakdowns and another 2 units which were scheduled to return to service remain offline, the power utility said on Tuesday. So there are 2 units that were supposed to come back online today that haven't come back online, and we are very close to the evening peak. It's just before 6 o'clock, and by the time this video is posted, you need to help the grid to reduce load. Now, this is a good thing when Eskom actually lets us know that we should reduce load before they implement load shedding. And I have asked for a very long time that they start demand side management, and that they actually put out the either green, yellow, orange or red status with regards to the grid situation, and then get people to switch off their geysers or whatever it is that they might be able to switch off, so we can prevent load shedding and still have power or electricity across the country, which makes a lot more sense for the economy, etc. The breakdowns were at Kendal, Mayuba, Letabo. Eskom said, while the delays were at Duva and Tutuka. So Duva and Tutuka didn't come back on time, and a further unit was taken offline at Kendal due to technical difficulties, okay, and to address emission problems. Eskom only has 31,000 megawatts available in total to meet the demand tonight. Now remember, this is winter. It's cold across the country, and normally in winter, I mean back in the day at Eskom, we would hit 36,000 megawatts. So at this time of year, so many years later, for us to only have 31,000 megawatts is absolutely shocking. I mean, we've gone so far backwards. And they say, while we expect some units to return to service soon, the situation may persist until the weekend. So this is a long week ahead, and load shedding might happen very soon if people don't reduce the load that they use. So I advise you that this is a good thing that Eskom is doing, telling us, please reduce load. If we don't do this, load shedding will be implemented, I can guarantee you that. And when load shedding happens, that you cannot control. What you can control is what you're consuming right now. We urge the public to reduce consumption by switching off non-essential appliances in order to maintain the integrity of the system. Now, what they mean by maintaining integrity of the system is we need to keep the grid at 50 hertz. That is the cycle frequency on the grid. When the grid frequency starts to drop, when the load is too high and we don't have enough generating capacity, and that frequency drops too far, all the units on the grid can literally separate from the grid, and we can have a nationwide blackout. So it's important that national control makes sure that we implement load shedding at whichever stage, and they will do so without government's approval or anything like that. And I've explained before that load shedding is to save the grid. It's got nothing to do with politics at all. It's a technical thing. And when they say, please reduce load, we need to listen because of the circumstances they're in. It doesn't matter what we blame for those circumstances, this is the reality right now. The statement comes on the back of blackouts hitting Koeberg due to increased demand and a spike in illegal connections. What's happening is because of these illegal connections, many of the transformers are overloaded, and many of them don't have frequent oil changes and many other things happening. And we've had substations explode, we've had transformers explode in the Koeberg area. I did a video specifically on that. And it's quite sad that Eskom and the grid and the local grids within municipalities is in such a bad state. Eskom avoided load shedding during the coronavirus lockdown due to reduced usage for obvious reasons. But as with the start of winter increased warning that customers must cut electricity usage as it battles to meet demand. Now, as the economy is picking up again and people are starting to work and using more electricity, Eskom is going to be in full exposure again. And in winter time, we hit the highest loads. So I can tell you for sure, I will do another video on load shedding to explain it to you in detail. But if we don't reduce load now, load shedding will be implemented. It's not a choice. It's not a government choice. Government has nothing to do with it. There's people sitting in a control room in national control that will load shed for you. And they will just open breakers to make sure that the grid remains at 50 hertz. And this is vital to protect the entire grid nationally and so that we don't have a national blackout, which is the last thing that we want. So, as usual, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon. The link to the article will be in the description below the video. Thank you very much for listening. Till the next video.